everyone must have thought, okay, money should work for us, and we've all heard this line, right? But to be honest, like, did it really work for us, right? So most of us just end up, following someone's advice, hoping for the best, and or probably letting the markets control our money. But I'll say to the next team, right? They believe it's time to change that, right? So I'm not going to talk about the solution how they're going to change that. So I would invite the team and Rochak and team, why don't you come and share how your product solves the problem about finance? Yeah.
Thanks, Akhil. Thank you. Thanks, Akhil, for the intro. As Akhil mentioned, like we are trying to solve that one problem of yes, we have all heard money should work for us, but does it really? Like in today's world, especially after COVID, we have all seen investors getting into stock markets, FNO, etc., etc. But we all follow someone's advice, or maybe a influencer on YouTube or a Telegram channel to invest our money rather than we doing our own research. It can be because of XYZ reasons. We'll not go into detail, but that's the problem statement we chose for our product. And we see it in among ourselves as well. Like we are a 3-member team and we see it among ourselves as well. When you don't have time, but you still want to invest, you generally look for advice elsewhere, but you don't get advice based on your portfolio. Rather, you get a very generic advice based on the masses. And that is also not very detailed for you to take an action. Uh, cool. I'll share my screen and then yeah, kick things off. So yes, as Akhil mentioned, the product name is ArthSetu, so your AI wealth guide. So we basically try to uh, make investing smart for everyone in India. So but before we move on to the actual product demo, I'll move on to my phone to show how the UI works, etc., etc. But do you know like how many of us like follow some influencer to take advice and invest money in the stock market? A quick guess in the chat. Cool. Yeah, we are less on time, so I'll move on. So more than 50% of people, like I think it's roughly around 56%. So 56% of investors today in the Indian market look to influencer for advice, and that's from SEBI's recent report that was published. And what percentage of influencers are officially registered by SEBI or registered on SEBI? It's just 2%. So there is a very big cap on who we follow for our investing.
Rochak, you're on mute.
Rochak, you're on mute. I think someone put you on mute. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Please.
Cool. So the problem, as I mentioned, like money, the problem we are solving is money. And what kind of problems we see? Too many apps. Like we have to invest using one app. We have to follow the news using another app. We have to track the stock prices using a different app like TradingView or something. The news that we get is often confusing, like it's either too technical, too functional, but never like according to what I understand. And then the advice, it's hard to act on. Like you can't just take any advice and put your money in the markets, right? uh, you can lose huge sums of money. So that's the problem we are trying to solve with ArthSetu. What we have built is and I'll guys can see my screen. This is the onboarding page that you will first land on when you try to access ArthSetu. And yes, we all know it's AI powered. That's the reason you see AI powered market intelligence. You have some basic details in the next few pages and a slide TNC as well, that this is AI generated. So please do your own analysis before you invest. And we do give buy sell recommendations. We give real-time personalized alerts based on the user's portfolio. And then, yeah, disclaimer that we have all suggestions are AI powered. Very critical. Cool. And then once the user has read all those things through, they can just create an account and move forward. So what we have done is we have integrated with Supabase, and basically Supabase does the authentication. So it has sent me a link to verify my email. So I've received that. I'll just confirm the email and I'll land on the next page where I have to give all the details that we want the user to provide us before we give them personalized alerts and all the other features that ArthSetu has. So the first one is investor type, because we are dealing with three different investor type: intraday, trader, swing, and long term. I'll select swing. Then there is risk comfort as well. Uh, and then alert preferences as well. So real time, daily, and weekly has some differences. So real time will mean you'll get more alerts on the app. Daily will mean that you'll get less alerts on the app, but you'll also get daily digest on your email. And weekly is like similar to daily. But cool. And once you are here, like we ask the user to connect to their portfolio. So we have connected with Kite. So I'll just go to Kite. I'll enter my password, and then yeah, just the code. And once this is all done, the exchanging of evidences, once you are done with the exchanging of tokens, I'll just log in with a different user rather than taking more time in rectifying it. So what happens is, once you have connected with your kite, we fetch the portfolio from your kite. So all the holdings that you have in the kite, we fetch all those things. And once that is all fetched, what happens is the user will land on their portfolio page. So as you can see, I'll log in. Cool. Yeah, so what happens is the user lands on this page, the portfolio tab, and here you can see all their holdings. The user has Colby's, HDFC Bank, Hindustan Unilever. So this is the kite portfolio that we have connected, and these are all the shares that are there in that kite portfolio. And once the user lands on portfolio, in the background, the alerts is getting generated based on their portfolio or the stocks they hold in their portfolio. So if I move to alerts, as you can see, there are all these alerts that are present in the users based on the user's portfolio. So there are a total of 8 alerts. And if you see, like, we have a buy now button as well. So if the user wants, based on the alert, if the user want to take an action, they can click on buy now. They'll go to Kite or Zerodha, and they can complete the buy transactions. And all the other details that the user wants, what the alert is, how it was created, etc., etc. All these things are present. And we also link sources. For now, this alert is only created using one source, Economic Times. We don't pull data from all sources. We have filtered out only to like verified sources. So we have a Indian stock API that will give us news events from verified news channels like Economic Times, Reuters, and yeah, there are a few more. And we also pull RSS feed from NSE, so the authentic source for anything in the stock markets. So that's the alert. And now we have something called as voice assistant. So what this is you can talk to your portfolio. Or basically, you will be able to interact with your portfolio. You'll be able to interact with your alert. So you can just start the voice agent and ask it any questions. I'll start it. Let me know if the voice is still coming through. If not, I'll.
नमस्ते, मैं आरोही हूँ आर्थ सेतु से। आज मैं आपकी कैसे मदद कर सकती हूँ?
Uh, were you guys able to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll start. So just restarting.
नमस्ते, मैं आरोही हूँ आर्थ सेतु से। आज मैं आपकी कैसे मदद कर सकती हूँ?
क्या मेरे पोर्टफोलियो में कोई नया अलर्ट है?
जरूर, मैं अभी आपके पोर्टफोलियो में नए अलर्ट की जांच कर रही हूँ।
ओके।
मुझे खेद है, अभी आपके पोर्टफोलियो में कोई नया अलर्ट नहीं ढूंढ पा रही हूँ। क्या आप कुछ और जानना चाहेंगे?
क्या मेरे पोर्टफोलियो में HDFC बैंक का कोई अलर्ट है?
मैं आपके पोर्टफोलियो में HDFC बैंक के लिए अलर्ट की जांच कर रही हूँ। आपके पोर्टफोलियो में HDFC बैंक के लिए कुछ अलर्ट हैं। पहला अलर्ट यह है कि HDFC बैंक के शेयर लगभग 1.6% गिर गए हैं क्योंकि बड़े पैमाने पर ब्लॉक डील में 27 लाख शेयर बदले गए, जिससे स्टॉक पर दबाव पड़ा। यह एक नकारात्मक बाजार से संबंधित अलर्ट है और इसमें स्टॉक को कम
Yeah, I'll stop there. But that was the gist of the voice agent. You'll be able to ask it anything you want to based on your for your portfolio and for the alerts that gets generated. So it will be able to answer how many stocks you hold, what is the average price of each stock that you have, what all alerts you have, etc., etc., all those things. And this is bilingual, so the voice agents will be assistant will be able to talk in English and Hindi. So we are targeting the tier 2 and tier 3 market as well with our product. Then, yeah, I already showed you some the market tab. Because the market is closed, that's the reason you are getting an error. But the market tabs is basically when the market is up on Monday, from Monday to Friday, you'll get live data for all the stocks. So for your watch list, the top gainers, top losers, the top two indexes as well, like Nifty 50 and Sensex. Lastly, we have a learn tab as well. So basically, this is our way of making investors learn about stock markets. So because our target market is somebody from 25 to 45, so somebody who's just entering the market might not know about the basics, so they can just go through all these modules and learn about the stock markets. We also have a chatbot embedded inside this learn module. So you can anybody can ask any question to the chatbot and it will be able to answer the question if that content is present in the academy. So this academy is not like this academy, the data of this academy is not getting pulled from internet. It's like we have created it. So obviously we pull the data from internet, but we manually verify it before putting it here. So the assistant will not be, sorry, the chatbot will not be pulling data from internet. It will pull from the database that we have created for our academy. So if I just show you what is stock market, I know it's basic, but so it will just go through the database and we'll try to answer it. What is stock market? Yeah. So that's how it looks. That's the output you'll get. Then so this is all about the app. We have some other things that run in the background. So the users get a daily digest via email. So a summary of all the alerts that were generated along with a voice note. So if somebody doesn't have time to look through or read through the email that we sent, they can just while maybe traveling to office or coming back home, they can just hear the audio note that we sent over email. We have not sorry, the voice note like you hear to a podcast or music while traveling home. Yeah, that's majorly it about the UI. I'll hand it over to Dheeraj to talk about the n8n now. So what all agents are running in the background, which is pulling all these things, alerts, portfolio, market, learn. But before I hand it over, Dheeraj, 1 second, I'll just maybe talk about the Superbase. So we have created multiple edge functions in Superbase. Why? Because we don't want Lovable to directly talk to the uh, sorry talk directly to n8n. So what we are basically sending the API calls to Superbase, and then Superbase makes the call. So if you see, these are all the edge functions. So kite callback, kite holdings, which pulls the kite portfolio details. Then there is this market data as well, which pulls the market data. Then we have indices snapshot. As I mentioned, if we pull the data for 2 indexes. Then it's the alerts webhook, which talks to the alerts n8n in the backend. Then the 11 lab session, the voice assistant is talking to the 11 lab session. So voice assistant talks to 11 labs and n8n at the same time. And then there are a few more as well, chatbot, stock code, and market sentiment. Cool. Yes, Dheeraj, go ahead.
Dheeraj, just a quick time check, yeah?
Sure. I'll just quickly run through what happens at the back end, and I'll try to make it crisp. So what is happening is we have a set of 8 agents for different workflows on the backend. I'll just explain the onboarding one, and also kind of relate it to the overall workflow. So what we are doing is, at this point, it's important for us to fetch verified sources. As Rochak already mentioned, we are using two sources. One is a RSS feed from NSE, which contains a lot of events around mergers, acquisitions, announcement, and all the information that the companies share with the exchange. So that acts as a verified source. Second is an open API, which helps us with all the news plus the fundamentals of the stocks. So we are tracking these things. Now what happens in the backend is we have a event classifier for new user. So the NSE RSS feeds are sending us around 7,000 plus events, around 7 to 12,000 events per day for all the stocks that are listed on NSE. And what we do is, the first step is we filter out all the alerts for the users that we have in our portfolio. Once we do that, what we do is we then process those alerts, process those events to make them alerts. How the alert scorer and field builder works is, it reads the events which are related to a specific user's holding. In this case, this is an onboarding flow. So we are taking last 1 week's news events, all the events including RSS and news, and we are processing this for that user's portfolio. Here, what we do is we understand what is the preference of the user. That's the personalization that we were talking about. So let's say, what's the risk profile? If the investor is comfortable with a higher risk, what's the investment horizon of that investor? Is it like a swing investor, or a medium term, or like a long term investor? And basis these two things, we classify each alert basis their materiality, if this alert is something that is even relevant for the user or not. If not, we drop that alert. Yeah, I think I stopped sharing. Just a second. What we do is, what we do is we process those alerts basis the materiality, and all of these workflows are being done by an AI agent. So what we do is, we understand what is the materiality. If this is material, we process the alert further. If the alert is material, we understand basis the user's profile, what is it, if this is something critical for that specific so this is how we are passing all the data, and we ask the AI agent to understand if the recommendation is buy, hold, or trim. What is the materiality of the event? If it is something that is relevant for the user, if it is urgent or not, what is the sentiment of this alert? What's the confidence of this entire alert that we are generating? And alert level, if we want to send it to the user right away, which becomes our real-time alerts. If we want to send this alert to the user through an email, which becomes our daily digest. And if we want to send like a weekly email, that becomes our weekly digest. So this is how we are doing it currently. I've sent these alerts to the front end where Rochak showed them to you. This is how the entire backend is kind of functioning. We extend it to other workflows where, if the market is open, we receive those alerts in real time and we process those alerts in real time. That's mostly about the backend. I'll just hand it over to Swapnil for the rest of the application workflow.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Swapnil.
Swapnil, just request if you could wrap it up in 2 minutes.
Yes, I'll wrap it up in 2 minutes. So there's one more thing. At ArthSetu, we understood when we were doing our study about what to develop. At ArthSetu, we understood that there is a gap in the market, because when everyday intraday traders trying to use the power of AI to, let's say, validate their strategies, or do back testing, there's a lack of understanding about how to use AI and how best they can feed this data and information. So ArthSetu has developed also a backtesting strategy curation and backtesting engine with the help of AI. So what you can do here, once you have access to this tool, you can come to, let's say, new strategies, define, let's say, a symbol, the candle interval for, let's say, 15 minutes or 5 minutes, etc., and the look back number of days. The look back days are basically the number of days our engine, strategy engine, will look or fetch the data for this given stock, and then try to generate strategies around it. You can also share, let's say, if you have any trading ideas, you can also share those ideas here. For example, in this case, I'm sharing this idea that I want to create an intraday momentum strategy with this entry trigger. This is the profit that I want to make, and these are the filters, also the risk parameters and all. and I will switch on some technical indicators that I would like to use to work with this strategy, and then I'll click on generate strategy. What is happening behind the scene is we are fetching the OHLCV data, the open, high, low, close, and volume information for Infosys from our data provider, that is Kite. Then we're feeding that information to our quant engine that is responsible for calculating the values for all the technical indicators that you just specified. Further to that, we process this information and try to construct a prompt for LLM. This prompt will be enriched with the historical data that we have actually gathered from Kite, the user's idea, and the technical indicators that our quant engine has computed, and the LLM will actually come up with 5 possible trading strategies that you can consider while trading in the intraday market. It takes usually about 25 to 30 seconds for the entire strategy generation work, but in the interest of time, I'll already show you some strategies that I already had generated about 5 minutes ago. So in this case, I was able to generate strategy A, B, C, D, and E along with their respective confidence scores. So it says intraday momentum long when price regains EMA 50 in golden cross regime. These are the intra entry conditions, exit condition, risk management parameters, etc. Now that once you have a strategy, you would want to, let's say, backtest the strategy. So all you have to do is click on save strategy button here, come to backtest engine, select the strategy that you wanted to test, select your symbol and define your starting capital, let's say, and click on run backtest. So now in this particular case, you would see your strategy did not perform very well. So the intraday, the backtesting results that you get out of it is that you started with 1 lakh rupees capital, but you ended up making a loss of 542 rupees. How you can see down here, there is a list of all the trades this backtesting engine was able to execute for your strategy. Your first trade was executed on 15th of September that ended up making some loss for you, that is 331. You can also visualize these trades here in your candle chart. For example, if you go to this 15th of September trade line, that's where you took a long position at this price, that is 1511.40, but then you closed and exited that position after making a loss of 331 rupees. I also show you some strategies where I was actually able to make, or at least with backtesting strategy, book some profit. So I have Infi cross momentum. Let's try to do that here. You can see I have, with my starting capital of 1 lakh rupees, I was able to make a net profit of 874 rupees. And these strategies actually were profitable since the beginning, with my first entry position, long position being here at 16th, and then making a profit of 183 rupees and then 691 rupees. Now that's your back testing. You tested your strategy with historical data. You would also want to do, let's say, paper trading. You would want to do forward testing. That's another type of interesting intraday users usually do. We are currently working on this module. It's not live yet, but this module will help you take this strategy, back test strategy, to the next level by putting them through the forward testing module, where you will select the strategies, do the same stuff, and then you'll be able to see live simulations around how your strategy is able to take position in the market, how it is able to execute, and so on. So this becomes your playground for testing all your strategies that you curated with the power of AI, and then you will be able to gain that confidence around how you think you need to take your next position as an intraday equity trader in the market. So that's ArthSetu, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. I think this is mind blowing work. So